Another Saturday night. Let me get my camera down here just a little bit. Huh. That's weird. Why is it like that? Huh. What, Mama? What? Here. Come here. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Here. There you go. Let me pick this up. Okay. Hi. Say hello to everyone. Say hi. Say hi. Here, let me get this out of your way. There you go. So tonight, we've got the 1998 Food Packet Long Range Patrol. Menu number 8, beef with rice. I don't think I've done one of these before. I really hope I haven't. But I'll tell you what, I was looking through my case of 98s, and I didn't take them all out and like lay them all out because I didn't have enough room. And I don't know what menus I've done and what I haven't. I do know that I've only got one chicken a la king left, which doesn't make sense because I know I've only had one. I couldn't tell if I had one or two. Or yeah, that would be right, actually. But I had 3 spaghettis, which didn't make any sense. So I've been having troubles getting on MREinfo.com, and K-Man is he's texting back and forth with me. I don't know what's going on. It might, well, it's not my internet, but something. Certain providers, certain parts of the internet. Mama, quit! Quit! You're going to knock that down. Okay. What's up, Spare? Look, Mama, quit. You're getting your hair everywhere, too. Here. Okay, I'm zoomed out. Goodness. Goodness. So, yeah. Yeah, that's just my luck that there'd be. For some reason, I can't log into MREinfo.com. You are out of control, Mama. Let me say hello. Storm Tracker, what's up? Melvin, hello. Sparrow, hello. And let me make a quick post with the link to this, and then we'll just get into this thing. We'll see how many calories are on this. Wait, what? Anyway, I've been having issues with my cats. I don't know if I've ever put Gigi on the live stream or not, but Minnie is my oldest and original cat that we've had, and Here, you're getting on my nerves now, Mama. Anyway, so Minnie is, we've had her since 2008, late 2008. But when she showed up, she was a full adult cat, so she could have been born in, I'm going to say she was no more than a couple years old, so she could have been born in 2006, which would put her at 20 years old. Don't quit doing that, Mama. Quit. Thank you. The other day when it's been about a week now, it got really cold here for a few nights. She disappeared during that really cold couple nights, and I went out and walked around, and it was really cold. For me to be that bothered by walking around looking for her, it was cold. I think it was like right around 0 or even in the negatives a little bit. I don't know where she was at. Anyway, she was gone for 2 days, and then she showed up. But when she showed up, she looked rough. She had lost, I'm going to say, in between a third and a half of her body weight. She was extremely skinny. Now, Minnie has been changing over the years, like the way she carries her weight. And, Mama, quit. All right, you got to get down. You got to get down. Say goodbye. Say bye-bye. I think she's pretty old, too, but she's in really good shape. Yes, you're a healthy kitty, huh, Mama? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Other than she's got, like, a hernia in her belly. All right. Anyway, so Minnie was very thin, and I want to say it must have been last weekend when this happened, and I took her to the vet first thing. I think Monday. And he x-rayed her, and she has, which I knew this before he ever x-rayed her, and he did too. Like, I don't even, I know he didn't need to x-ray her. It was pointless way to charge me extra money. Like, he's like, just wait and I'll show you exactly what this is. And if you know exactly what it is, why are you even doing this? You can just pull up an image of what you know it is and show me that way. Anyways, it doesn't matter. She has some sort of a growth in her stomach, which I could feel it. I could feel the lump. I knew it was there. And she's so old. It's a huge risk to try to remove it. Now, she still has an appetite. She's still doing all the things functioning that she needs to do, but it was the weight loss that just shocked me, and I could, like, it. I thought I was gonna, and I know I'm gonna lose her. So I have been. Well, she also had a cold or something. Like, she was sneezing, her nose was all wet and running all the time. Which, I mean, a cold, wet nose, I think that's probably right. But she was, the sneezing and the nose and stuff. Anyway, so I've been trying to baby her back to health as good as she can get. I went out and got her more liquidy foods, and she wasn't drinking water, which scared me. That's like the worst thing that I've had cats die over the years, and like when that happens, they're almost always a goner. Like that. There's not even really anything I can do. I can take them and have fluids put in them, and then it doesn't really help. It prolongs the inevitable. But with Minnie, I started giving her 2% milk just so she'd get some liquid in her. And anyways, I don't want to get into details of the rest of the stuff, but she was drinking it. She's drinking, she's alternating between that and water. She's doing, I would say, pretty good. And I told my kids, I said, look, if you want to see her, you better come and see her. So Alex came, my older son came day before yesterday. And while he was here, he let one of the other cats in, Gigi. He asked if she could come in. I said, yeah, she's been out for a little while. I wanted to give her some medicine anyway. And she came in, and she didn't seem like she was doing all that well, but she didn't, I mean, nothing too out of the ordinary for her. She was a skinny cat. She's always been a skinny cat. And it's time for all the cats to do their deworming before spring hits. So I did that, and I put her back out after a couple hours, and then she showed up. I let her in yesterday morning early, and I knew something was wrong, just the way she was voicing herself. And I did everything. I did everything I knew how to do, but it wasn't good. And so I lost her yesterday at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere along in there. I can't remember exactly when it was. She was old too, I'm sure. I've only had her, I was trying to think, probably 7 or 8 years. But and she was a stray that showed up, just like 90% of them, maybe 95% of them. I don't know. Let's see, it'd be 90% of them. Well, actually, no. Take that back. Probably 70% of what I have left are strays. The cat distribution system. Anyway, doing my best, trying to deal with Minnie, and so that's been probably a week and a half type deal now. It might have been like last Thursday or Friday when she first. It had to be Saturday when I got her, Saturday morning, and that's why I didn't stream last week, I think. But yeah, she's in there right now. She has not been back out since she's always been outside. Like, she wants to go outside. She hasn't even attempted. She doesn't care to. She's done a couple things that have been out of character for her, to where I knew, like, and she knows something's very much not right. She's got a limited amount of time left. They did give me an option to take her. None of the vets around here will touch her. We have 3 vets that are somewhat local, and then the other ones that aren't local, Charleston, Taze Valley, and I think there's some in Huntington. I didn't even check with them because I've had horrible experiences with all of them with Stella. So my vet that I use suggested, I want to say it's called MedVet. They gave me a pamphlet. And I was like, okay. I was like, so you think that they could cut that thing out of her stomach? And look, I get she's really old, but man, she's so healthy. She's been such a healthy cat. Beyond any other cat that I've ever had, she's never had any issues at all. I got her fixed like 17 years ago. 16, 17 years ago. And they put metal sutures in her stomach. I did not know this, and this is something I did find out from the x-ray. She still has like 8 or 9 metal sutures in her stomach. I don't like that. Anyways, the vet told me just to walk in the door without the surgery or anything like that, it'd be $2,000 just to walk in the door, and then obviously it goes up from there. So, like, huh? That's, whew. Got into a big fight last night. Lots of fur. Man, that's not good. Tabby, she's a tabby cat. Got him in 2011 when he was around 2. See, that's how she showed up. She was probably around 2 years old when she showed up. He died January 20th this year. Had him cremated. Where I go. Couldn't bury him. Oh, I got you. I understand. Yeah. So I don't ever plan on selling my house. This is the house my kids grew up in, and I do plan on gutting it and redoing it. But other than that, this house will stay in my family until I'm dead. And she had a spot, Gigi did, outside. And last night I was trying to figure out, like, where am I going to bury her at? And I asked Amber, what do you think? And she made some suggestions. And I was like, nah, I don't like that. And I still hadn't made up my mind. And I had a spot in my head that I thought maybe. And I went outside and it just hit me like she was a weird cat. Like, she would lay out in the middle of the yard. Not if it was pouring the rain, but if it was like sprinkling, she'd lay out there in the rain. She would lay out there at that spot in the yard. I don't know what it was about that spot in the yard. She'd lay there. Like, she just liked to lay there. Again, she was a very active cat, but she's always been skinny. And it's always bothered me how skinny she was. It didn't matter how much she had access to unlimited food. Like, my cats always have food available, always. I don't like feed them twice a day and they run out. Nah, I don't do that. Like, they can all eat as much food as they want. Right now, I have one overweight cat, and I think he's probably diabetic. He's orange cat, like light-skinned cat. He does have like a couple, I don't know, like spots on his skin that have started that a more recent new thing. And I think he always had ear problems, which I got all those taken care of, which I think that's a common, or I know it is, it's a common thing with those orange cats. But he's the only one that's like overweight. He probably weighs, it's taking a guess, 25 pounds, I would say. Maybe not quite. He might weigh 15, 20 pounds. I don't know. I've never weighed him on a scale. I need to do that, actually. I might do that this evening. Anyway, he's the only big cat that I have, like, that's overweight. And like I said, they have access to unlimited food. So cats aren't really notorious or bad for overeating. But I know, like, my little sister has 2 cats. Both her cats are extremely overweight, and I don't understand how it's like that, but they are. They're way bigger than my cat. So I've been trying to pull up MREinfo.com for about the past hour because I just wanted to brush up, and this is what I keep getting. So in this case, which is not normal, but I know the owner / creator both of this website, which is Kenton K-Man, and I texted him. I was like, "Hey, is MREinfo.com down?" I just wanted him to see. I just checked with him before I started the stream, and he's like, "I don't know, let me check." And he ran through and checked, and he's like, "Nope, everything's good on my end." For some reason, it will not. Absolutely will not come up for me. It keeps saying, right here it says the request timed out, which, whatever. I've tried going to different links. It's just doing nothing. The best source, period, of collective ration and military MRE information gathering on the internet is K-Man's website, MREinfo.com. I mean, you can't beat it. The old government books that are out there, which I've found a few here recently that I do intend on buying, they're they do have some really good information on them, but they span a very short period of time, and usually they're pretty ration specific, or like that short ration era specific. Ran into a book the other day on eBay, and it was just about Korean War era. Like they were, so it was the ration combat individual, and then there was a couple other more specialized rations in there, and some group ration stuff, field kitchen stuff. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Anyway, really cool book. It said it was an original book too. It's on my watch list. Let's see if I can find it real quick. That's not it. It's going to be hard to find. Vintage Army recipe books. Technical manuals from the 1950s, which is pretty cool. These are all originals. Bread baking, meat processing, ration issue, Army recipes, eggs, cheese, and sandwiches, Army recipes, meat, poultry, fish, gravies, sauces, and dressing? Huh. Army recipes, vegetables, and legumes. And then there's another one over there. I don't know what it is. It's missing its cover. Pretty cool, though, I must say. Oh, they're actually 1950, not 50s. 1950 is the date. There's 6 of them. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I need to pick those up. That's not the one I was talking about, though. There's another one that's got a bunch of illustrations and stuff in it. It's really cool. Yeah, if I don't find it here in a second, I'm good. Then I missed out on a case of MCIs the other day. I was messaging back and forth with the guy, and I fell asleep. And then he sent me an offer. When I woke up, somebody else had bought it. Oh, look, here's LC. Howdy. Happy Saturday. Hope you had a good Valentine's Day. Monday was family day. Migraine's still going. Yeah, some new meds. I was supposed to start some new meds yesterday, and I forgot to go to the pharmacy and get them. But thank you for the super chat, LC. I don't know what to say about that migraine. I had a really bad headache earlier, and I took one ibuprofen and one aspirin. I took them together, and it took a while, but it went away. I have been fasting recently. I've been doing pretty good. Pretty good. I must say. I tell you what, I don't know why, but I feel a lot better when I fast. I don't know if it's that way for everybody or if I've got something else going on, which I think I do, because food typically makes me feel like crap. It didn't used to be that way, but it has been that way for a while. Get out of there, mama. Mama. Get out of there. Mama. Alright, I'm giving up in 3, 2. My watch list is way too long, I guess. I went through a lot. Must be all the way down at the bottom. Here's a Betty Crocker World War II wartime rations cookbook for $26. Get down. Nope. So I don't think I had one of the beef and rice of the long range patrols. I don't think I've done one of those on live stream yet, but maybe. There's 16 in a case, right? Is that right? 8 menus, 16 in a case. Or am I wrong? Need to go look that. I'd have to pull that case out. Figured I'd find it, but I just keep scrolling. Still ain't found it. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. It was a cool book. Let me see if that can ended. Oh, nope, it ain't ended yet. Got 1 day left, and I'm still winning the. I'm still high bid. Good deal. Wait, is this it? No, this ain't it. Sugar ration book. Maybe they sent me a offer or something for it. Sent me an offer for this bathtub, which is really cool. I'm looking for a bathtub for that place. Look at this bathtub. I'm not really with the whole flower thing, but it could look pretty cool in a bathtub or in a bathroom. All right, let's get this long range patrol opened up. How old is this thing? 26, 27, 20, 28 years old? It's pretty old. I will say, while I was digging around in the case, it smelled like that old MRE plastic. I don't know if you've ever smelled that before, but that old MRE plastic had a very heavy influence on what, like, old surplus stores used to smell like. I haven't been in a classic old surplus store in a long time. I went in a few while I was in New York, but we used to have 2 of them around here that my grandpa used to take me to all the time when I was a kid. And that smell of that old degrading plastic, I guess, is very familiar. It's hard to describe. It does somewhat smell like plastic, but it also has like this aged industrial, like more of a pungent and like I don't know, it changes. It's not just like a plastic. It's not like you'd smell it and your brain would be like, oh, it smells like plastic. Now me, where I've smelled it so many times, that's what is where my brain goes. I'm like, oh, that's that particular type of plastic degrading. And it has a very unique smell, and I like that smell. If I could bottle it up, I'd probably use it as an air freshener or something. All right, let's take a look at this thing. I want to see exactly how many calories are in this. If everything has nutritional information on it, like I'm hoping it does. I think these are in pretty good shape. I can't remember. I bought this case off of eBay, it seems like, and I've had quite a few out of it. It's been a while, but it seemed like they were decent. Now, I will start off by saying that beef with rice is not my favorite menu. I've had it older than this. I've had it probably 3 or 4 other generations of long-range patrols, and I've never been very impressed by it. I like chicken and rice a lot better, but chicken and rice is not an option in 1998. I actually thought that it was, and I was looking in the case to find a chicken and rice, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There is no chicken and rice. All right. Let's go ahead and cut this thing open. Of course, Warnick had the contract on these. That's the only ones of these that you'll find are made by Warnick. No other military contractor, made long-range patrols in 1998. These versions right here. Warnick is the only way you'll find them. It's pretty satisfying. All right. It smells just like that plastic. Hang on a second. Get comfy up here, Mama. Okay, let's see what all's in this thing. First off, we know, because it's right there, with a nice little sticker on it. The 345th day of 1998. Cornflakes cereal bar. May be crumbled and rehydrated with a small amount of water. I don't know if I've had a cornflakes bar out of one of these LRPs. Seems like I've had oatmeal, I've had bran, and maybe a shortbread. I don't know. Oh, look at this. An iced tea drink mix. Nice. I have not had one of those out of one of these. Oh, look at this. What? I got 2 of them? That is awesome. Wow. And they make 8 ounces. I don't think that was supposed to be like that. Maybe. All right, next up we have Candy 4. I'm assuming M&M's, but I guess it could be Skittles. 323rd day, 1998. Oh, here's our accessory packet. 341st day of 1998. That is some good looking packaging. I gotta say, the old packaging, they did a good job on this old packaging. Let's put these over here. Let's put that there. Or maybe, yeah, I'm thinking I probably should only have one of those teas, but I don't know. I have to go back and look at other people's reviews and see if they got 2 as well. Here's our partially biodegradable MRE spoon. It's like, yeah, what is it, like 6th year or 7th year for the spoon? What we got here? Ooh, we got a really crammed in there fig bar. Huh, that usually doesn't happen. Usually they're nicely placed in there, not all messed up like this one. 301st day, the oldest item we've got so far. And it's the first item with any type of nutritional information on it. The cornflakes bar has nothing, so we don't know the calorie count or anything on that. And last but not least is this very pristine packaged beef with rice cooked, dehydrated, which we know that this is freeze-dried. Made by Oregon Freeze Dry Incorporated, Albany, Oregon. Add 10 to 12 ounces of hot water, approximately half a canteen cup, to mixing bag. Stir. Wait approximately 5 minutes. Hot water may be added in stages to keep the food hot. When it's really cold outside, and you're trying to make this up and have a warm meal, that is definitely the only way to go. But if you want your food to be hot, that is the way to do it. It really is. So ingredients: beef, number one ingredient. That means that we got more beef in here than we do rice or anything else. Pre-cooked long grain rice, non-fat dry milk powder, vegetable shortening, partially hydrogenated soybean oil. I don't like seeing that. Corn syrup, solids, sodium caseinate, and mono and diglycerides. Modified cornstarch, onion powder, partially hydrolyzed beef stock, black pepper, garlic powder, and soluble celery. Dextrose spice extractives. Spice extractives. Dextrose and spice extracts. $8 of $98. Let's see. What's our date here? Whoop. No. Wait. There. Wait. Huh. Hang on a second. I'll be. Look at that. That is a 5-digit date. Is that a... Yeah, that's a 5-digit date code. 98 and then 351 and then a D. Weird. So 5-digit date code on this. I wouldn't say it's hard as a rock, but it's pretty hard. I mean, I'm sure if I wanted to, I could bend this and break it in half. Well, I don't know that it'd break in half, but look, you can look how extremely well vacuum packed this is. You can see that ring on that cardboard insert that helps keep the lid closed. That's pretty cool. All right, well, that's everything out of the bag. Plastic smells so awesome. All right, put it over here out of the way. One more piece of history is going to go in my gullet tonight that is leaving the earth forever. Not a ton of these things left out there, I'm telling you. I think some of them should be preserved long-term to try these again in 25 more years from now, and then more 25 more years down the road, and more 25 more years down the road. When these things hit 100 years old, I think somebody needs to eat one. I won't be around for that, likely. Let's see, 100 years from 98 would be 2098. How many more years from now is that? Let's see, this thing is 28 right now, so it'd be 72 years from now. All right, how are we going to do this? We'll do this last. Let's get a tray up here. I washed my tray good last time. I remember doing it. It's not dirty, but... Alright. Cornflake bar. We ain't got no crackers or anything in this, which I wish we did. There's our accessory packet. Our fig bar. And there's not a whole lot to this. Let's see what's in this accessory packet. Be nice if there's coffee in here, but... Oh! Look at that! Coffee. I didn't think we was going to get... There's no way that iced tea was supposed to be in there. So we got red Taster's Choice coffee. 4 grams of Domino sugar. We got double the issue United States butt rations times 2. That's because this ration could be meant to last a soldier 24 hours on a limited calorie 24-hour diet. This could be all you get. And honestly, I think I could easily make this last me 24 hours. Even in a strenuous situation. I wouldn't want to do it every day, but an occasional, yeah, this would be just fine. There's your cream substitute dry non-dairy, National Packaging Company Incorporated out of Decatur, Alabama. A package of iodized salt, back when we still had properly packaged military style salt. Really nice little book of matches. They are black with white tip. Strike on back. Almost looks like somebody struck one on there already. Huh. And, wow, that gum looks really good. Get your green. Oh, it's stuck together. Green chiclet style gum. Yep, it is. It's actually stuck together. It doesn't really look like it, but it is. All right. Good looking accessory packet, but we're not going to need that. We're not going to need that. We're not going to need that. We're not going to need those, and we're not going to need. Yeah, I got a pack up here right. So we will keep the coffee. We'll see if this Red Taster's Choice has survived. Usually it does not. Usually the Red Taster's Choice just doesn't hold up. Let's take a look what this fig bar looks like. Oh, whoa. Oh, it smells so good, but look how dark. There's one. Wow. Holy. Those are the worst looking ones I've ever seen. They smell amazing, though. Look at that. Definitely the darkest ones I've ever had. I don't know if it's where it like got smashed into the fig, the bread did, or what, but this one's not quite as bad. But usually they're around about that color. But, yeah. Interesting. Burnt figs. They're not burnt. It's age and I think compression. The way it was all like bent up and contorted, it got smashed and like the figs soaked into the bread, I guess. Because they're not, usually they're like crispy and dry and like the sugar has started to separate and are glistening. That's not going on here. This is oily looking. Look at that. Oh, and it's sticky. I figured that'd be oily, but it's not. Huh. Interesting. Didn't really leave any residue behind. Usually they stick to the packaging too, and these did not. What's up, Jason? Oh, yeah, they should go good with the coffee. I agree. We got coffee and tea to make. We'll make the tea cold since we're going to have hot coffee. Let's see what's in here. I'm going to guess it's going to be something rather collectible. M&Ms, and they are, wow, look at that pack. Oh yeah, look at that. Freaking collector's edition. Millennium watch offer. So you can get a collector's Millennium watch. It's the end of 1998. Wow. And they smell perfect. I can smell them. I don't know if I'm going to open those or not. I got a pack of them right here open, I think, even the same era. Let me look. Thought I had a pack right here. I must have put them up. I do have some peanut ones right here that are... I don't know how old these are, actually. Not that old. What did I do with those? I had some right here on the mantle. Dang it. Oh well, it doesn't matter. All right, cornflake bar. Cornflake bar, the shortbread bar, they're all good. I really like the cornflake bar. I like the bran flake bar. If I was supposed to pick a favorite, it'd probably be the shortbread. The shortbread's really good. It's been a long time since I've had a shortbread too. Oh, yeah. All right. It is time. Well, let's go ahead and do the drinks. Or, actually, no, we'll get the beef started because we can let it get ready while we do the drinks. Where's the seal? Right there. So I got a cup below there. Nope. Oh, yeah. Well, they've sealed the bag into the bottom. Oh, nope, it came loose. It came loose. Huh. Good deal. All right. So it's double bagged. And when you take it out, you flip it over like this. Set this bag off to the side. This is the one you would want to use to make it up in my opinion. Nice clean bag. You take this off. This one's usually pretty greasy. Like I said, you want to flip it over out of the bottom. And then, even then, see how greasy it is? All right. So I'm going to basically break that in half. we go. It's roughly about half of it. All right. And we'll try just a little bit of it dry right now. It's got a really nice beef stock flavor. Even though the rice is freeze-dried, it should be all hard. It's not really. This is going to reconstitute very quickly and very easily. Putting the other half back in here. Pinch that down. And I will have that for dinner at least one more time, maybe twice. It's a huge serving. Huge serving. It's a lot of food. I mean, for your average person, like, this is a lot of food. That's why I say I could make this into a solid 24-hour ration. Have half of it with that as dessert, and maybe even one of the fig bars, and then the other half, and you even got 2 teas. So there's one meal, and then there's your next meal, and you get coffee to go along with your fig, whether it be at night or first thing in the morning. You know, like, not a bad setup right there at all. At all. Let me go ahead and prep this coffee. We will do thought I polished this cup out last time. I guess I didn't. We'll do the tea in this cup. Be clear. Or should we do the coffee in the clear cup? We'll break out the delicious cup. I got the Germs cup over here too. I think I just saw Germs put a video up hitting 10,000 subscribers, so congratulations for that. Or it might have been a live stream that he was doing. Something. I saw something. Put the tea in the delicious cup. Oh, wow. That's not one to open. It's got plastic lined. Try a little tea powder. Lemon and the sugar is the main, but that concentrated tea flavor was the first thing I tasted. It was actually really good. It's interesting flavor to have concentrated and dry like that. Kind of want to eat more of it. There we go. This calls for 8 ounces, which is a nice size cold drink. Let's see if our taster's choice made it. Take the bets. I mean, I'm 50-50 myself, whether it made it or not, so see if it's got dry mold or it's in good shape. What do you guys think in the comment, in the chat? coffee with the iced tea. Ooh. I'm going to say that's not a good idea. Just based on the flavor profiles of both. Oh, oh wow. Dang. Y'all got to see this. Look at that. Wow. Huh. That is maybe the worst one I've ever seen. I mean, that straight up is just mold, I'm pretty sure. It's not the separation of the caffeine crystals. Right? Or could it be? That, if the bottom of your foot looks like this, you're in bad shape. Fallout Wasteland coffee. I mean, look, we was in a Fallout situation and I hadn't had coffee in a year. Look, I would drink this and probably survive. Probably not make me sick. Then again, well, at that point, my stomach's probably quite conditioned to pretty gnarly things. But you know, that could just be caffeine crystals. It could be. Because you would think if it got enough moisture to, really ruin it, then the coffee crystals themselves would have dissolved with the moisture instead of just having this, whatever this is. I would love for Taster's Choice to see this and tell me, like, what were you doing with your product during this era that was so different? Because the brown packs from before that are older than this, you'll never see this. You'll never see this. It doesn't make any sense to me. Something is very different about what their process was, what they were putting in here, something. I mean, again, I've never seen one this bad before. This is the worst I've ever seen that I can remember. Usually, even if they're bad, like, I'll still drink them. This is not one of those times. The only part that still kind of looks like coffee is this little tiny area down here. I'd kind of like to see the other side of it. Let's see if we can flip it over. I doubt it, but we can try. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look, there's the other side. Huh. I'll be. See, look. Like that. It really does make me think that it could just be the separation of the caffeine, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll set that there. That's okay, because I just got some new coffee. What do I do with it? Hang on. I just picked up some Folgers, which used to be my favorite, like, brand to brew. Not necessarily instant, but well, not a very good design package. Make it work though. It's like a freeze-dried instant coffee, not a spray-dried. I had some Taster's Choice in there, but it's got some weird crystallization going on in there as well. And sugar. And creamer. Man, I heard something about this Walmart water the other day. They did some testing on it. There was 2 chemicals in it. They did a pretty wide test on they got some out of a store in California, some out of New York, I think some out of Ohio, and this purified drinking water, there was 2 chemicals in it that cause cancer in the pancreas and kidneys or liver, or something like that. Anyway, I want to stop drinking this crap. I'm going to have to find different water. 8 ounces. That's probably good, right? Yeah, that's good. I want it to be strong. All right, we'll get some hot water in this, and some hot water for our beef and rice, which will be ready almost immediately. Here we go. There's the coffee. Haven't stirred it up yet. Haven't stirred that up yet either. See, I got 8 ounces of water here. For the whole bag, it says 10 ounces. So, yeah, right. Which means that this should only take about 5 to 6 ounces. We'll see. All right, that's 4 ounces right there, roughly. Okay. Give the coffee a quick stir. Give the tea a quick stir. Oh, wow. Still a lot of powder at the bottom. Surprised. Huh. All right. Give this a mix. A little bit foamy, which is kind of weird. What's in here? I need something to put over top of this. What do I have? I got something around here. Well, just to kind of keep some of the heat in, I guess. And we will set, whoop, coffee cup on top of it. Yeah, that'll work. All right, in the meantime, we'll take a little break and I'll chat with you guys for a second. I'm not going to fix the camera, like lopside it. Have a sip of tea. It's pretty good. Hey, what's up, Dan? Sorry, Oldsmokey. I have my espresso machine on to join in with coffee. You can keep your folders, which we don't have here. What? You guys don't have folders over there? I like folders. I think folders is pretty decent for your like standard everyday American coffee. Yeah, not bad. It's not bad. Not bad, not bad. I don't want to smoke a whole cigarette waiting here. We'll give that like 2-3 minutes. Well, it's good to see you here, Dan. Hills Brothers Coffee here at the moment. Hills Brothers, huh? I did buy some other coffee. It's this brand right here. This ain't it, but I've had this right here for at least 10 years, maybe longer. This Cafe Bustelo or whatever. And this brand has just kind of taken off. I see it everywhere right now in like stores. Walmart, I've seen it. At Dollar General, just stores that I frequent, which I need to quit frequenting such awful stores. Anyways, this brand has like blown up around here, and the camera is bothering me. Anyway, but I've had this, like I said, for at least 10 years. I've had this since way before it was popular. The guy that used to hang around back whenever I first started the YouTube channel, he some of his family was out of the country, and they brought back a handful of like pre-mixed coffee stuff like that, whatever they were. And he gave me a couple of them, and that was one of them. And I've held on to this thing right here for, like I said, maybe 9 years, maybe 8 or 9 years, I would say. But I'm saying it might have been 10. It might have been 10. It might have been 2016. Man, 2016. Things were so different back then. YouTube was I feel like 2015, 16, 14, 15, 16 was like YouTube's prime. That's when YouTube was the best that it will ever be. I don't think YouTube is gonna get any better than it was back then. You used to be able to go online and find it. You find real information. Now, it's whatever they want to allow you to see. All right, let's see. I think this is probably ready. I think it was almost ready right off the get-go. Almost as soon as I dumped the water in. Okay. The rice might be a little bit tough still, maybe. But it pretty much absorbed all of that water. And I think it could probably handle just a little. Let's give it just a little shot more water. That'll warm it up too. Yeah, that's going to have to be in the shot, I guess. I don't know if I set it back here. No, that's even worse. There we go. That's about as good as I can get it. Mix that in. I'd really like to see some chicken and rice. Oh, yeah. You got some fancy coffee over there, Dan. That's some good-looking coffee you got there. Here, I'll show everybody. Dan's espresso. Oh, yeah. Looking good. Better than anything I can make in my house, that's for sure. One of these days soon, I might invest in one of them espresso machines. I'm just not big on drinking a whole bunch of coffee and stuff anymore. I have been here recently. I've been on a kick of wanting coffee. I don't know why. But usually I'm not. Usually, I don't know. Whenever I work 12-hour days, I used to drink a lot of coffee back then. A lot. Well, probably way too much, but I guess I go through phases where I want to drink a bunch and then I don't. I don't know. But I'm okay with the instant for right now. I got my coffee pot put up and I haven't gotten it back out. Sometimes I'll mix some hot chocolate in it. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I just want straight coffee, no sugar. I've been doing black coffee too, which is very out of the ordinary for me. Look, it almost absorbed all that water as well. See, this is one of those menus. It depends on how you like to eat it. If you like to eat it like really pasty, and I would consider it to be somewhat on the dry side, then I would say your 10 to 12 ounces will be fine. But we have put, let me see. What did I have? Above 8. Now I got about 3 left. So I put about 5 ounces in this right here. And honestly, this is probably about a third of what's the total amount that was in that bag. So I think it could probably handle anywhere from 16 to maybe even up to 20 ounces if you was doing the whole thing. And if you let it set long enough, it would certainly absorb probably virtually all of the 20 ounces. So it can handle about 6 to 8 ounces more than what they're saying, I think. Again, it depends on how you like to eat it. I like when I do a dish like this, for it to be a little bit more on the runny or liquidy side, for it to have like a gravy to it. But it depends on how you like to eat it. Like I said, if you like for it to be pasty, I could have put half the water in this and it would have been what I would consider, and anybody would consider, to be dry. And you put a couple more ounces in it and it would be on the pasty side, but slightly moist. And then this is how I prefer mine. Actually, I could probably handle even a little bit more water added to this. But we're going to dig in. Right here. Now, they didn't supply us with any hot sauce back in 1998 in the LRPs. But a lot of guys carried it in their packs, the little bottles. They'd save them from MREs. So, alright. We're not going to mess around. We're taking a big old bite right off the rip. So, here we go. Down the hatch. The beef is a straight up, like, ground beef. Reminds me of the beef that I had in Hamburger Helper when I was a kid. Beef, the ground beef we've been getting here recently, just, it doesn't match up. Same texture. Now, this has reconstituted really well. No, it's a little bit chewy, but it's always going to be when it's freeze-dried like this. But there's no, like, really stiff center or crunchiness to it. None of that. The rice itself, I mean, it adds a little sustenance to it. It's not your typical beef and rice, though. This is a very, I would say, gravy-enhanced beef and rice. We're going to do a little bit of Tabasco here. Yep. I don't want to flavor the whole thing, so I just want to get that bite right there. 3 big drops will be plenty. Yep. You can see it right there. It is pretty salty, too. And a little bit greasy. Like they didn't rinse the beef well enough and left some of that grease behind. So it kind of coats your lips. But the flavor's outstanding. Kind of creamy, salty, beefy. Just a down-home, hearty, easy to eat. Not bad. I like it better than I thought I would. I want another bite with Tabasco. A lot of times with these older beef menus like this, they'll get like weird and fishy. This tastes as fresh as if it was made yesterday or today even. Really good. No doubt. You're right. American food is probably, I'd venture to say it's probably some of the worst in the world. If not the worst. Judging by what I know. I don't think our food is strictly meant to sustain us or at all. It's meant to make us sick. Now, where this is from 1998, I feel like this is pretty early on in that agenda. This is nowhere near as bad as something that you'd get today. This is actually, I don't know, as healthy as something like this could be, probably. There's not a whole bunch of crap in here, preservatives and just junk. It's pretty simple. Seasonings, beef, rice, and that's it. And some cream. I do kind of wish I had a cracker. Cracker would have made this even better. But as it is, it's pretty good. You could add this to a lot of stuff and enhance other dishes with this beef and rice. It'd go really good with some vegetables too. I'm going to save one more bite. What? I don't know if healthy options are offered to us first. But the healthy options are way more expensive now. I get, in my experience and where I live. That may be different other areas. I don't know. But I do, well, not in my experience, not from what I've seen. The healthy options, you're going to get taxed on healthy options. Wash it down with this tea. Wow, that is super refreshing. It's really tasty. It's a really nice balance between the tea, the lemon, and the sugar. I feel like it's about as perfect as it could be as far as the flavor balance. If I would have added a couple more ounces of water to that, it would be bland. Which I think I did add just about 8. I should have measured it. But I was pretty close. All right, Corn Flakes bar. There's your cross section of that. Well, anyway, there we go. It smells a little bit old. I mean, it does have a slight age smell to it. But it also smells like cornflakes. It smells like milk. Kind of has a... Oh, yeah. It smells like cream, milk. I'll give it a try. These are pretty good when you add just a little bit of water to them and crush them up like it suggests. But I feel like you waste it that way. Like, you never can scoop it all up unless you use your finger and, like, do that. And it doesn't really change the taste. Like, same thing's happening in your mouth when you chew it up. Again, very well balanced. I wish they had never stopped making these. The compressed food bars are one of my favorite items that the military has ever made. Corned beef hash is up there. Those are up there. Cran raspberry first strike bar is probably my favorite item ever made. So, I think this fig bar looks worse than this one. I mean, that's got a really dark spot right there. So does this one. It smells super fresh, though, which is kind of weird. It's got a really pleasant fig smell to it. The only way to know, really, is to just take a bite and see what's going on. All right. Here we go with one of the ugliest looking fig bars that I've ever seen down the hatch. Oh, so do I. Hard Knock, I much prefer my fig bars to be aged, but I mean, they're kind of few and far between getting to have the aged ones. I like it when they got a nice crust on the outside. This thing is spectacular. There's something enchanting about whatever happened to this. It is probably twice the flavor of any one that I've had before. Oh, wait a second. It tastes really good, but I'm getting a really weird tingling sensation in my jaw. I don't care. This tastes awesome. It tastes really, really good. I feel like that oils on the outside right there of like went I don't know, something. But the flavor, this is by far the most flavorful fig bar maybe that I've ever had. And it's really smooth and soft. There's no crunchy edge to it or anything like that, like there usually is. Usually this outside edge right here, there'll be sugar separation and crystallization where it hardens up, and that has not happened with this, which is weird. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the last LRP like this that I had that had a fig bar in it, it was crunchy like that, probably out of the same case. Something weird happened to this one when it was getting packed or something. Like the way it got scrunched up, or maybe it got smashed. I don't know. But something changed this. I think it happened with age. I don't think it was like made differently. I think this has more to do with the age in the packaging, the aging, than it does a manufacturing difference. But yeah. Something else that I'm noticing is there's way more fig to bread ratio than there usually is. Like, look at the amount of fig in that thing. And it is very, very oxidized and dark. But you see how, like, gooey? Yeah, it's definitely making my tongue numb and stuff. But it tastes... It's weird because there's no, like, weird off taste about it. I haven't tried this coffee yet, so it's just coffee, you know, new coffee. Huh. Kind of made that worse, actually. The weird numbing and tingling sensation in my mouth, which, again, I don't really care. It tastes way too good to let that stop me. I want to try a bite with the coffee, though. Oh, yeah, the best MREs desserts are... Well, they're not gone. You can still get them right here. Mmm. 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 Oh. So the coffee, like, dissolved it, and it brought out, like, a tanginess in it. Mmm. That is the softest. It's almost, it seems like it's mega fresh as far as like the texture, how smooth it is on the chew. Although it does have that kind of numbing, weird stuff. Other than that, though, I wish I had 10 more just like this one. It's so good. It's like it got overloaded with fig. Look at that. That's an unusual amount of fig. Usually there's more bread to it and not that much fig. That's a lot of fig. It's really good, actually. I'll ration that last couple bites there. Mmm. Mmm. All right, now I want a bite of this with the coffee, too. Mmm. Mmm. That's better on its own. Coffee kind of overpowers it. Coffee enhances that. Mmm. I don't think that I should eat the M&Ms, LC. I think I should save them and give them away. I opened up the last pack like this that I had. Hang on, I might have it here somewhere. Crap. Oh. I just seen it the other day. So I put up a bunch of M&M. It was a loser. This one looks like a leather band. It says M&M. What's that say? M&M means 2000? Is that what that says? Does that say minis? I can't tell what that says. Huh. I can't tell what that says. but it's not time to celebrate. Just watch me. Okay. See details on the inside. Collector's Edition Millennium Watch Offer. I don't think I have. Maybe I have one of these. I don't know. Seems like the last one I had was a, like, similar to this. It was around the millennium, but it was a game. Like, you looked inside to see if you won. But as far as like collectible candies like that, especially when it comes to M&Ms, M&Ms are highly collectible. A lot of people like to collect M&Ms, but they're perfect. I can tell you exactly what they'll look like. Like, you know what they'll look like. They'll look exactly like M&Ms, and they'll taste exactly like M&Ms. So destroying a nice candy collectible piece of history like that, it's not worth it to open it up on a live stream just to eat a couple of them. And, I would say that this package of M&Ms is probably worth 30 bucks. That you never see them for sale either. Like, or I don't look for them. I don't come across, like, that's not really what I would consider to be very old, but they're old enough. I mean, 20, those are at least 28 years old. So, let's see. Do a Canadian smoked right now. Okay. These are weird. Sectioned into two different little sections in there. I don't know if all the Canadian facts like this are like, I don't think they are. These are distinct brand. These are Export A Smooth. And these are Players. Let's see if it's sectioned into two. Let's get this lit. These are probably, I don't know, 5 to 7 years old at least. Might be able to find a date on them. Let's see. Yep, sectioned into two. Huh. Must be a Canadian thing. What the big pack? I don't think it is, right? Or is it? Yep, it is as well. This is a 25 pack though, I think. Yeah. 25 pack. Do these say 20 packs on them? Yep. 20. 20, 20, and 25. I like that. Having the option of a 25 like that. See the difference in size? It's pretty substantial as far as the difference in size. Huh. Tax stamps are way different. Huh. Kind of harsh. This is a distinct, I believe. Yeah, distinct. I don't remember him being like this the last time I had one. Maybe. pretty strong. Wow. It's kind of rough. Just like it's got a roughness to it. How would I describe that? Not exactly harsh, but stiff. Like heavy. Very strong. It doesn't have a very good throat feel. I don't remember these being bad like this. Maybe age has not been kind to them. Maybe. Because I would say, like I said, I'd say they're at least 5 to 7 years old now. Probably. That's good stuff. Oh, wait, what? The toilet. Over the fig bar? Fig bar, honestly, it's most people would not eat it. Most people would after that first bite, would have been done with it. I'm fascinated by it. I think it's a pretty unique piece of food that I have not experienced quite like that before. It's pretty good. It's pretty daggone good. Huh. I don't know if it's like where it's kind of going out or what, but maybe the tea kind of helped smooth that out. Maybe my throat was just dry. It's the lemon, maybe. Maybe the lemon's helping. Peanut butter M&Ms. A bowl of peanut butter M&Ms? Got a craving for them? I ain't had peanut butter M&Ms in a while. Peanut M&Ms, definitely not the same thing. They don't taste anything alike at all. I've gotten peanut butter M&Ms out of a ration before, I think. Seems like I have. It'd be something new, newer, probably anywhere from like early teens to something new. I mean, if you don't normally have a craving for something like that, and you do, it does indicate something. Usually, if you want to dive down deep and try to figure out exactly what that is, I think sometimes it could just be you see something talking about M&Ms, and it made you want to experience the peanut butter M&Ms. Yeah. This is the second half of this has been way better than the first half. Could be where like the tar and stuff kind of moistened it some, but it's certainly not a low quality tobacco. It's a decent quality tobacco. That may be a cheaper brand, but I could smoke those. Like, I could smoke those. Most 98% of the cheap brands that we have here in America, I can't and won't smoke them. I try every now and again. I'll buy something just to see if there's something cheap out there that's decent, and no, there's not. There's like, I'm quitting. I wasn't going to say this last time, but I am. I'm working my way through that right now. I've said it before. I'm just doing it. This was a pretty decent ration, and having that second tea in there, I'm curious to know whether or not it was supposed to have that. But with that second tea and the double toilet paper, of course, this certainly could split up easily to be in my opinion, 2 full meals. If you split that beef and rice right down the middle and have it twice, this is not something you'd want to eat for breakfast. First of all, you know, you could get by eating the cornflake bar for breakfast and having the coffee for a very light, and the fig bar, even half the fig bar, and that be your breakfast. Lunch, half the M&Ms, half the beef with rice. There's your lunch. Dinner, you got your coffee or your tea, half the M&Ms, half your beef and rice, and half your fig bar. It could certainly be split up and rationed out to last you a full 24 hours, which some of that time you should be sleeping, but in a situation where you're stretching out a single ration like this to last you 24 hours, you're not going to be doing much sleeping, most likely. You're going to be in a situation where sleep is going to be a luxury, you know, big time. So you'll be lucky to sleep 2 or 3 hours probably, if you sleep at all. So, you know, but, you know, that's another thing too. If you're in a situation like that, eating's not going to be one of the priorities on your mind, usually. Not always, but usually. And it makes it easier to stretch food out that way too. Keeping your mind busy and your body busy, or even if you're in a high stress situation, which is again that your body is busy when you're highly stressed like that. So yeah, I think that it could certainly stretch out to a whole day menu. I don't see why not. They're all meant to be able to be used as a low calorie 24-hour menu if need be. So let me see if MREinfo.com will come up, because I was trying to remember what menus I had done. Try again. Bitcoin's way down. I think it's going to go down further. Right now, it started going back up a little bit. It went back up. Since I looked at it, it's went back up $2,500. It was down to almost 65,000, but yeah, I think right now is a pretty good time to get in. Not financial advice, but I think Nvidia right now is a decent buy. Tesla's a decent buy right now. Tesla's going to go way up. I think it'll see 500 by the end of the year. Okay, let's see if MREinfo.com will come up now. Nope. Still nothing. Well, that sucks. Wonder what's going on. On my end or whatever. Let me try a different link. Still nothing. Huh. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, look, here's that other coffee. Did buy. And there's the Taster's Choice. Told you I had it. Well, my phone was sitting on top of it. On top of this fan. Right here. What's up, Jason? Been a minute since you've been here. Yeah, I'm probably running pretty late right now. What time is it? 11:38. Not super out of the ordinary. I have a feeling, just looking back and looking through what LC talking about candy and stuff, I would say that most likely, most if not all of the either Americanized or American candy manufacturers, I'll bet you what you get in Canada is probably different than what we get here. Like said 100 times, like the food here is so toxic and poisoned. And I see the counter arguments all the time. They can argue all they want. Number one, all you have to do is look at the ingredients list. That's all. Look at the ingredients. A lot of changes happened during the pandemic. Why that happened, I'm not 100% clear on exactly what their tactics were or what the overall ultimate goal was, but it definitely happened. I mean, again, you can compare pre-2020 ingredients lists to post-2020 or 21, whatever, ingredients lists, and you can clearly see the difference. And I see people arguing to the contrary of, oh, you don't know what whatever. Let's just this is probably a newer one, a newer. Gee whiz. Okay, so just in this is just the dyes, which take from that what you will. Colors including blue 1 Lake, yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, yellow 6 Lake, and red 40 Lake, yellow 5 Lake, blue 2 Lake, and blue 2. Carnauba wax is the next ingredient. Let's see. Stuff before that's not too bad. Milk, chocolate, and for the chocolate it's sugar, chocolate, skim milk, cocoa butter, lactose milk fat, peanuts, soy, lectin, or lecithin. I think I've always said lectin, but it's lecithin, I think. Salt, natural flavors. You want to see something interesting, look up what that natural flavor is made of. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like what you find out. Google that. See some videos. What else we got in here? Less than 1% of palm oil, corn syrup, dextrin, and then you got all your colors. So the ingredients list is not as horrible on this as one would think. Let's look back on this 1998 package of M&Ms. Ingredients are milk chocolate, and in the milk chocolate you got sugar, chocolate, milk, cocoa butter, lactose, soy lecithin, salt, and artificial flavors. Sugar, cornstarch, corn syrup, less than 1% is the rest of the list. Corn syrup, gum, acai, how do you say that? I don't know how to say that. Acai, I don't know. Anyway, my pronunciation on that is probably quite horrendous. Coloring includes red 40 Lake, blue 2 Lake, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1 Lake, red 40, and blue 1. And then dextrin. No dextrin in the new version. Too bad I don't have a direct comparison of new M&Ms. I'm sure I have some somewhere. I just don't know where they'd be. The fresh ones. Hold up. So I do have some much earlier M&Ms here. These are, I want to say these are 80s. I think 87. Ingredients list on these are milk chocolate, sugar, cornstarch, corn syrup. And then you got that gum acai, or whatever it is. And then it's coloring. Red 40, yellow 6, yellow 5, and blue 1. And then you got the dextrin, which is in both of these. Vintage, it's way higher up on the list in these old ones than in this. Milk chocolate contains sugar, sweetened condensed milk, chocolate, cocoa butter, peanuts, soy lecithin, salt, and artificial flavors. Same ingredients, slightly different order in the list. They're using more soy in the new than in the old. Wait, they're not using, yeah, they are. They are using soy, but it's down on the list. In the old, or the newer, not much newer, but newer, the soy lecithin or lectin, whatever, is higher on the list. There's more of it in these Millennium version than there are in these vintage, more vintage. I think these are 87. It might be 89. They're dusty. I like this old packaging though. I am a fan of the older M&M style. But there's a couple more, but this is pretty true to the original, or somewhat original. Once they came up with this design, which was early, they kind of stuck to this look for a while, and then they started getting all fancy in the late 90s. But any time before that, like, this is pretty much, this was it. This is what I remember as a kid right here. This is what I remember when I was a little kid, is having M&Ms like this. Yeah, these will, somebody will like to have these, and if whoever I send these to wants to open them, they can open them. I'm sure I got another pack in one of the LRPs that I've got in there. Man, it'd be cool if you could send off and get that watch, wouldn't it? If I could send off and get that watch, I'd open them up right now and send it off. Huh. Look for us on the internet. www.m-ms.com. Huh. It's pretty early on for internet advertisements now, isn't it? Let me zoom. There it is. Kinda. It's still blurry. Just ain't wanting to focus. Huh. Weird. Let's go through the chat here. Acai. 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 Is that what you're thinking? Acai? 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 These are things that I should know. Like, I need to, but how do you learn something like that if you've never heard it pronounced properly? Because I'm going to say I've seen people pronounce it, but who's to say that they're pronouncing it properly even? I know I've always mispronounced it for years. I seen somebody at some point pronouncing it differently, and I thought, huh, maybe that is how you pronounce that. And then I still mispronounced it for a long time, and I just caught myself right there. I was like, hang on a second. I remember thinking that I needed to reevaluate my pronunciation on this particular word. Chemical. Whatever. Preservative. Oh, man. I'm telling you, I wish I had 10 more of these. Oh, man. They're just... Yeah, I think the bread has went rancid on these. It's going to be really hard for me to not eat that other one. It's the most flavorful fig that I've ever had. Fig bar. It's like it was intensified by at least 2. It is super, like, fresh. Like, the textures, it seems very fresh. I doubt it. I mean, maybe. It could tear my stomach up. You never know. Because it is certainly an unknown. So far, though, it's had time to hit my gut. And I haven't noticed anything yet. No gurgling, no nothing yet. Yeah, that's not saying much. It ain't been that long. But it's been long enough I should notice something. That's not warm anymore. Room temperature. And then the if I were to make the compressed food bars myself, like literally buy the machines to create that, I wonder how well they would sell. I don't know what the price point on something like that would be. But cornflakes are pretty cheap. You add a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cream to the mix, because there is definitely some of a cream powder or something in there. So when you mix it up, it's like got almost like it's got a milk to it. It's kind of got a creamy flavor to it. I don't know if I could recreate that exactly, and outside of maybe getting the exact recipe from the government somehow. I mean, I don't see why not. They don't make them anymore. Maybe they will one of these days. I doubt it. Well, yeah, I take that back. They do still make them for the food packet survival general purpose. As long as they're still making the food packet survival general purpose, because there is that other version in foil that I've seen that may have replaced the boxed version. But I think they still do, like, I think they still produce the boxed version to go into, like, life rafts and airplanes, as far as, like, ejection seat, survival kits, stuff like that. I think they still make them. I know, as of a couple years ago, you could order the compressed food bars. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's right here or not, but you could order the chocolate version, the chocolate chip version, What did I do with that chocolate chip one? Right here. This one, right here. See the difference in the packaging? I mean, they're both made by Sterling Foods, but I don't know if it was a direct ordering from Sterling Foods, if that's a thing. But I do know someone who done it, and I never did bother to ask him how he done it, but he ordered an entire case, which was a lot. He had to spend a lot of money to get an entire case of the chocolate chip bars. I'm not a fan of the chocolate chip bars myself. If I was going to order a case of something, it would either be these right here, or the shortbread bars, or the oatmeal cookie bars. It'd be one of those three. It would not be this. That's just me, though. Yeah, you're right, Dan. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. You're correct. I like to savor like special items like that. And I'm like, all right, once I eat this, it's gone. I'm never, like, especially something like this. It's not like I can open another fig bar and it's going to be like this. Not going to happen. Now, I could get lucky, and the other beef and rice that's in that case could be like that. The odds are not in my favor, because I do think something odd happened to this while it was being packaged. Like, as soon as we took it out of the bag, I was like, oh, that's weird. The way it was all like crunched sideways, and it was like kind of the way it was shoved in and bent over. That had to be, in my opinion, what caused this to happen. So this is a fluke, an anomaly. It's one of those things that I've never seen before, and I've opened a lot of people over the years, especially a few years ago, up until, I don't know, 2020 probably. Anyways, there were quite a few people in the community that don't like the fig bars. Most people don't actually like the fig bars. And when they get them, they just set them off to the side or whatever. And if we do a trade or something, they would throw those in for me. I have a backstock of fig bars in different boxes throughout my stash of stuff. When I go, like, every time I go through boxes of stuff, I usually come across a few fig bars. So it's kind of a thing that I've always enjoyed. I've always liked them, and I've gotten a bunch of them over the years, and I've opened a bunch of them. Usually, because I like that crunchy edge that they get. They get a little slightly more intensified in flavor. I don't know. It's really mainly that separation of sugar and that crunchiness that happens that I really like. This is not that. Certainly, there's nothing at all. And I've had them. I've had them really, really dark before too. We'd have to go back into, where did I get the really dark ones at? There was some really dark ones I had. What did those come out of? I can't remember. Those really dark ones that I had, I remember them being smashed. Kind of like this kind of was, except these ones were smashed flat, like super flat. And they didn't taste nowhere near like what this does. This is a unique experience, I must say. It's pretty awesome. And I would, to replicate something like this, it would take you 20 years, right? Like, you'd have to, and then it might not even turn out like this, because we don't know what the storage conditions for that thing has been for the last 28 years. Almost 30 years. Wow. $1998. In 2000, I turned 18. Graduated when I was 17. 1998, I would have been 16, 17 years old. Huh. That's how long me and Amber's been together. Yep. Almost didn't even dig that thing out. And then when I got in there to them and I started looking at what menus that I had, I was like, wait a second. I had it in my head that I had different menus left. And I had chili con carne, spaghetti, beef with rice. There was something else. Maybe beef stew that I had doubles of. I don't remember. It almost seems like I did the beef stew, though. Maybe not. It seems like I did, though. I'm pretty sure that I did. And chicken stew. Chicken stew, out of these 98s, so far, has been my favorite menu that I've had. Well, chicken a la king was up there. I take that back. Chicken a la king, fresh, like that, is really, really good. The lasagna was really, really good, too, though. Oh, yeah. I would say it's a tie between chicken a la king and lasagna and chicken stew. They're all really good. The beef and rice definitely comes in underneath that. Like, underneath those three. Maybe that's the only three I've... Well, now 4. So I should still have 4 menus that I haven't tried, which would be out of that case. Chili con carne, spaghetti, maybe beef stew. What else did I say? Chicken stew. Definitely tried that one. There's a menu that I'm not thinking of. Beef stew, chicken stew, chili con carne, beef with rice, chicken a la king. Did I say spaghetti yet? There should be 2 more menus. Should be 8 menus total. Oh, pork. Something pork. Pork. Chow mein. Right? Isn't pork chow mein one of them? Sweet and sour pork. Sweet and sour pork. Sweet and sour pork, that's it. That's it. So that's 7. What's the 8th one? Lasagna. I didn't say it. Or maybe I did. I think it's lasagna. Chicken stew, beef stew, chili con carne, chicken a la king, beef with rice, lasagna, spaghetti, and the pork. There it is. That's all 8. Ha! Yeah. Is there only 16 in a case, though? I thought there was 24 in a case. Must have only been 16. 2 of each menu. I think I paid like $600 for that case. That's 16 rations. Which would be a lot each. $40 a piece, roughly. But find them. Find these for sale individually. It's not easy to do. And if you do, you might find them for about that price individually. Probably 40, 50 bucks a piece. It's almost like a fine dining experience as far as like the cost. What it costs you to have a 28-year-old meal that's basically perfectly preserved outside of the fig bar and the very awful coffee. That coffee is the worst I've ever seen, I think. I've seen them bad, but usually they're like moist. There's no moisture at all to that whatsoever. Like you saw when I flipped it over, like, and I touched it. It's dry, super dry. Yeah, I'm getting ready to hop off here too. I got to go tend to Minnie. I fed her right before this and gave her some milk. I did go in there and check on her one time since I've been doing this live stream. So, but yeah, it sucked losing Gigi yesterday. I wish there would have been more I could do for her. I don't know. It sucks watching your animals get old. And sucks getting old yourself, too. I gotta say, like, aging is not something that's, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine, right? It's fine. I've noticed I'm starting to get wrinkles. What is that, crow's feet that you get? What's a frown line? I don't know. I don't know how to frown. Is it right here? You're supposed to get frown lines in your cheeks? Or is it this? Right here. I don't know that I'll ever have them. I can't frown. I've always had bags under my eyes, which that comes with me not sleeping properly and haven't slept properly since 2016. I wish I could sleep properly. I really do. I'm working on it. Kinda. Maybe one of these days. I need to go see a monk or some Buddhist or something. Learn how to control my sleep pattern, my sleeping ability. I've been even taking precautions to like not drink anything a couple hours before bed, so I know that I won't have to wake up in the middle of the night, because I did have a bad habit of drinking way too much water, which isn't a good idea. One more time, let me see if I can pull up MREinfo.com. I did successfully remember what all 8 menus were, though. I'm pretty confident in that. Oops, nope. Nope. It's not working. All right. Cramps? You get leg cramps or something? Yeah, Tim, I feel you, man. I'm pretty much the same way. I mean, this all started for me in 2016. Up until 2016, look, I could sleep very normal. And I have come to realize here recently, I knew that I was having some sort of issue, or whatever you want to call it, with anxiety. And I denied anxiety was a real thing for a long time, until now I deal with it. And I can't control it. I cannot control it yet. There will, like, there will be a point. There should never be a time that I can't control my own body and mind. But as of recently, and somewhat recently, I would say, this year, maybe into last year, I've come to realize that that this anxiety thing, which I knew I had an issue with it, but it's not something that I have learned how to control. They put me on a bunch of different medications at one point. I think I've talked about this before, maybe. One time they had me on 9 different medications at the same time. They were killing me. They were killing me. Legitimately, they were killing me. In 2022, I decided I was done with all that. I wasn't going to let doctors kill me anymore. That I was taking my destiny into my own hands. I don't know how well I've done with that, but I certainly think I've done better than they were. So anyway, the whole anxiety thing, it spikes my blood pressure. I get tense and anxious, obviously, and it's something that I can't freaking control, and it bothers me now. Like, now I am recognizing it vividly when it's happening and trying to use techniques to stop it, and I can't stop it. I honestly didn't think that would be the case. I thought that I should be able to control this, and I can't. I can't control it. I don't like that at all. Not even a little bit. Like, it's obviously you don't like something that takes control over you, and you can't control it. Yeah. But I'm working on it. I feel like this is something that, now that I've recognized it as the problem that it is, and when it's happening, and kind of what leads up to, or at times that I know that it's going to happen, maybe I can do more about it. That's my goal. That's what I'm working on. So, but yeah, I think my brain's been rewired, and that might sound kind of crazy, or maybe that sounds completely logical to you. I don't know, but going through trauma or whatever, and dealing with, I guess your brain does actually create new pathways to deal with these things, and now I have to create new ones. I want my old ones back. I want my old pathways back is what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. Because I used to be really good in high pressure situations. Not that I'm not still fine with high pressure situations. I can deal with and control. It's just that I have this underlying anxiety crap that's like in the background that I didn't used to have. But all right, I'm going to wrap this up. Been a weird couple weeks with my cats. I'm hoping, like I said, that Minnie kind of comes out of it some. But again, she's had some really weird behaviors, and not wanting to go back outside is not like her. And she's probably 20 years old now. And I don't think, as of right now, I don't think, because where she was sick and she's had this cold, I don't think putting her through a major surgery I didn't think she'd make it through it. If she gets better, maybe that would make sense. But we're talking probably $4,000 to put her through that surgery, and she might not make it. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Haven't had a whole lot of input or advice when it comes to that. Anyway, hopefully this week will be good for her. I got a lot going on. All positive. All good things. Good things are coming. and hopefully soon the whole scenery for live streams and videos again, everything's going to look completely different. As soon as I get this done, I'm going to invest in some camera equipment, and maybe I can find somebody to run cameras and do editing. I'd really like to find that. So I'm sure I can. I'm sure I can do it. Just got to look in the right place. So, all right. Thanks to my patrons. Thanks to you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys. There was no lead up or notification or anything like that. I just I knew I was going to do this today. I didn't post or anything about it. I should have, but I didn't. But all right. I guess all I got left to do is say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Later.